our van. My van, she reminded the loser. You mean my van. Whatever. He brushed off the concept of ownership. We all share this big blue planet, bae. You of all people should know that true enlightenment only comes to those who share. Uh-huh. And which internet guru fed you that line? Persia reached behind the back seat and grabbed a grimy old sweatshirt decorated with an ironic yellow smiley face. She tossed it in Leaf's face. He caught it awkwardly, and ironically, considering his frown, and slung it over his shoulder. Come on, Moon, he quickly caught himself. Persia. Seriously, I hear there are wolves in these woods. He reached for her hand, but she snatched it away. Just one more night, baby. One more night and I'll get out in the morning. I swear. You are aware the more you beg, the less likely I am to say yes, right? Leaf adopted a pained look, as if she just shot him in the heart. What happened to you? What happened to us? Once upon a time, that soft, sensitive expression had made her weak in the knees. Now, it annoyed her. Crossing her arms, she decided it was time to call his bluff. I have just one question for you, Leaf. Do you even like me? Persia knew Leaf didn't love her, just as she didn't love him. One benefit of living to the ripe old age of 28 meant she recognized when a relationship was a short-term thing, and Leaf had been short-term from the very beginning. He only dragged it out now because he didn't want to sleep on the ground. Wimp. His hesitation was all the answer she needed. Actually, you know what? You can find someone else to borrow a tarp from. I think I'll keep mine. Leaf's mouth fell open, stunned. Out, she spat, and pointed at the open door. Leaf's demeanor turned cold as he crawled out of the van. He stood outside the door, hands on his skinny hips, and glared at her. You know what? You're a real bitch. And don't you forget it. She smiled and chucked his backpack at him. Leaf lingered for a moment and then wandered toward the hidden campsite in search of shelter for the night. Who needed a television when watching Leaf beg for handouts was so immensely entertaining? Someone finally handed over a tarp, then another someone apparently had a sleeping bag to spare. They'd be sorry when he returned it smelling of his white boy dreads. What a user, just like everyone else in this ugly fucking world of theirs. Good riddance. Still, Leaf was well liked among the protesters, and Persia was in no mood to sit around waiting for the inevitable tidal wave of gossip. Shrugging into her favorite Oompa Loompa sweatshirt, she pulled her walking stick from its overhead holder and climbed out of the van. She locked the doors before heading into the woods she was so committed to protecting. Handmade signs shouting, "Keep Wolf Woods Wild" and "Down with Dick," referencing Dick McNish, the owner of McNish Development Corporation, sat propped against tree trunks and tents. Not far away, bulldozers sat idly, menacing reminders their protest wasn't going as well as they'd hoped. Not that a little pushback from Dick McNish would stop her. She'd seen worse. Much worse. Once the lush forest surrounded her, Persia could finally breathe again. The deeper she pushed into the woods, the lighter her heart felt, until she suddenly realized she was singing her favorite song, Endless Love. The Luther Vandross and Mariah Carey version, not the original, though that was good too. None of her new agey boyfriends had ever understood her fondness for sappy love songs, but Persia had a penchant for surprising people. It kept them on their toes and made them wonder what she'd do next. The last thing she wanted was for anyone to pin down exactly who she was and what made her tick. She preferred to remain an enigma, wrapped in mystery. Nature had a way of curing whatever heartache or stress ailed Persia. Nothing compared to being completely alone in the woods, the birds and the trees harmonizing with her terrible singing. Her troubles seemed to melt away with every step she took, until she was totally blissed out. So blissed out, in fact, her brain...